You know I'm a hot boy, but I ain't never lose my cool. The speed's on fire, that's why I'm riding with my tool.
Hey YouTube, the Touchdown Podcast, back with another video for you guys today. And I know I've been gone for a while, so I want to get straight into what we're going to talk about today. But first, I gotta explain why I've been gone, and so we're going to do that right now. I was sick for about 2 or 3 weeks. I had a really bad cough, I had a runny nose. It was terrible. It was a long time. The cough was absolutely miserable. But I got over it last Monday, and I've been good for these last 2 weeks, but I've been also like dealing with family stuff. My daughter and my son just had a birthday last month, so I was spending a lot of time with them and the family, so I wasn't like really thinking about making videos. Even though in the back of my head I wanted to make videos, I held back. But now we're back. We're officially back for a strong NFL offseason. But we're also going to talk NBA, March Madness, and then WrestleMania is this weekend. So I want to do a podcast on that tomorrow, going over my predictions and all that stuff. So tomorrow, expect a WrestleMania video, going over wrestling. And then as the summer goes on, we're going to talk some baseball with you guys. I want to expand this channel, not just football and wrestling, but to basketball, baseball, once in a while. As you see, I got an LA Knights hockey jersey on. Not LA Knights, Las Vegas Knights. Jeez, I'm out of shorts. So go Knights. We'll maybe talk hockey at some point. But I haven't really watched hockey at all. But I'm getting into it now, so I'm starting to get into hockey a little bit. I've had this jersey for about 2 years now. And I watched a little bit of hockey last year. I haven't watched anything this year, but I'm getting ready to. Now the playoffs are getting close, I'm assuming. So we'll be watching some hockey. I probably won't be talking hockey this year, but next year we might. But because this is mainly a football channel, but I want to expand it because I see a lot of podcasts which just football. Right? That's all they talk about is football through the whole offseason, draft, everything. Right? It's just all football. But I want to expand my channel to wrestling, basketball, and maybe some baseball, and then throw in hockey maybe next year in the future, right? So that's the plan. Also, I want to make this channel more professional, right? Make a more professional podcast channel. The issue is we're gonna have to wait another year for it to really make this professional. What I mean by that is I need to get a PC so I can stream off the PC instead of my phone, and I also want to I already have a mic. I have a camera. But I want to get Elgato, and I want to get all these other things. I also want a game. I want to stream on Twitch and maybe Kick and just stream gaming as well. So, and I want this channel to grow so we can just live stream podcasts, right? Where we can go, instead of making 30-minute to an hour videos, we can do a live stream and stream for 3 or 4 hours, right? And just chill and just chat sports, right? Or anything you guys want to talk about. But we can't really do that until this channel grows. So when this channel grows and we get to a point where we can start live streaming, I'll let you guys know. And then there will be no more videos. It will just all be live streams from there on out, okay? On this channel. That's the plan. I like live streaming more. I like to react with you guys live instead of try to read the comments. And being that this channel is so small, we only have 12 subs at this moment. And we're not getting a lot of comments or anything yet. I want to grow this channel to a point so we can go live and I can interact with you guys live instead of by videos, right? So that's the plan. So I just wanted to let you guys know the update. I'm back. I'm officially back for a grind on this channel going forward. I'm very excited for it, and we'll keep growing. But let's get into what we are here for today. I want to go over what the Dolphins did this offseason. And then after getting towards the draft, we're going to go over what every team did this offseason, what their plans are draft-wise. I'm going to try and make a big video on that, probably right before the draft. So that'll be the plan there. But I just want to go over what the Dolphins did since I'm so behind on what Miami did this offseason. I was up to date with them, but I wasn't able to make videos. So now that I'm able to make videos, I want to go over today is going to go over that and basketball as well. So let's get into it, okay? What the Dolphins did so far what they did in free agency so far was that they're interested in Odell Beckham Jr. They've also had interest in Tyler Boyd. They've given Odell a contract offer. He has not accepted. I'm thinking he wants a little bit more money than what Miami was willing to offer at that moment. But maybe Miami will look back into the Odell situation after June 1st when they get that Xavier Howard money. Because they also they talked to a big-time O-lineman about coming to Miami after June 1st if they don't draft a guard or an O-lineman, right? So and I'm assuming it's Dalton Risner is the guy that they've talked to. I could be totally wrong there, but that's my assumption, okay? They also brought back Isaiah Wynn. They have brought back Kendall Lamb, who was solid for us last year, as a backup for Armstead. They brought in Brewer, a center, who's better at right guard, but he has been playing center for the Titans. He's not a great pass blocker, but he's a really good run blocker. And then they signed Jono Smith, and they signed Kendall Fuller to a nice cheap deal. Pretty solid move there to have a nice corner next to Ramsey to pair with them. And then you have Kerry Koa and Cam Smith and Nick Needham and those guys. So they did bring back Nick Needham also. So they made a lot of, and then they've signed some D tackles they're okay guys. They're not insanely good, but they're just depth pieces pretty much. Because they did lose Wilkins and they lost Robert Hunt. It's sad because I love Wilkins. I wanted Wilkins to stay here, but Miami just couldn't make it happen. So it is what it is there, right? But yeah, so it's at least we know that they're investing their money in the O-line, or at least trying to. They want to look for a good receiver 3. So hopefully, I would like Odell. I want Odell the most, but I wouldn't mind Tyler Boyd. Or if they choose a draft receiver, maybe in the second round or later in the draft, I'm cool with that. Just don't draft one in the round 1. Unless it is, what's his name? I forget his name. Oh, Brian something, I forget. Brian Thomas Jr. Unless it's him. If he falls to our pick, I'd be willing to draft him. But besides that, I'm really not. I'd rather have Newton, the D tackle from Illinois, or the D tackle from Texas, Byron Murphy, or Jackson Powers Johnson. That's the guys I want the most. Or there's a tackle from Washington I wouldn't mind getting either. I can't say his name. I think his first name is Choi. I wouldn't mind him, right? So we'll do a draft video before the draft for the Dolphins as well as all the other teams. So you will get a full-on what I expect Miami to do before the draft, probably here in a couple weeks. So that's the plan right before the draft. So because the draft's here at the end of the month. So you'll get all that. But I just want to go over what Miami's done so far. They still haven't extended tour yet. We're still waiting on that. They did extend Raheem Mostert, so he will be playing through 2025. He's supposed to be a free agent in 2024, but now he won't be. So we brought Mostert back. I'm cool with it. He is getting older, but he still has rushed for over 1,000 yards. So as long as he keeps a decent pace at that, I'm chilling with keeping him around. That's because he's cheap. So I don't mind it. And he's a stud, and I love him on the team. So there is that for the Dolphins. Like I said, we're gonna go over what all the other teams did right before the draft. We do a full-on video going over every single team except for Miami because we just went over it. And then we'll do a separate video before the draft what I expect Miami to do in the draft and do my expectations for that. So expect that going forward. That's the future. But for this video, now we're done with talking about the Dolphins. Let's get into basketball. Okay, I haven't watched the NBA very much at all. I'm starting to get back into watching the NBA now because it's getting close to the playoffs, and so I'm gonna be watching basketball tonight because because my Rockies and my Cubs are not playing tonight. They finished their series against each other yesterday. Rockies almost made a comeback. They tied it, but the Cubs ended up winning. So go Cubs go, because my Rockies are terrible, and I'm rooting for the Cubs. I have two teams. The reason for that is because my dad's a Cubs fan, so I am also a Cubs fan. But there's no baseball tonight, no Cubs, no Rockies tonight, so I'm not going to be watching. So I'm going to be watching the NBA tonight. I've been watching a lot of March Madness, though. I'm not going to lie. I have been watching a lot of March Madness. It's been fun. I was praying for Utah State to go all the way. Obviously, that didn't happen. Purdue's too good. Evie is a monster at center. Just a big dude, right? Another guy I like is DJ Burns. He's a dog from NC State. I'm really hoping NC State pulls out the win against Purdue this weekend and wins the Natty, or ends up going to the national championship or winning, because I like DJ Burns a lot. he's a beast, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big Evie guy. I'm not. Like, I think he's really good. But I just don't like him. I don't know what it is with him. I just don't like him. That's just my personal opinion. And I know a lot of Utah State fans that don't. And I'm a Utes fan, but I cheer for the teams that are from Utah that make it to the tournament every year. Except for BYU. I really don't root for BYU. I'm not gonna lie, I don't. I'm a Utes fan. I don't like BYU. My grandma went to BYU though, so I kind of support them a little bit, but I'm not a BYU guy at all. So, all Utes, go Utes all the way, right? But basketball-wise, they didn't make it to the tournament, so the only team I really root for was Utah State, and now they're out, so I'm rooting for NC State all the way through. The Final Four this weekend, I think on Saturday, and then I think the National Championship is on Monday, I believe. So it's going to be a fun rest of the March match. So I've been watching that. I also want to see what guys are going to be in the draft for the Jazz. The Jazz are terrible, and that's my favorite NBA team, but they're absolutely terrible. So they're supposed to have a pretty decent pick. So I've been looking at guys from college to see who they're going to draft. I have a Miami Heat hat on because I support them. Because I'm a Dolphins fan, I support the Miami teams a little bit. I'm not a Miami Heat fan by any means, but when LeBron was there and D-Wade was there, I was rooting for the Heat to win the finals. So that's how I became a LeBron fan. So I cheer on the Heat once in a while. I'll cheer on the Heat through the playoffs when the Jazz aren't playing or aren't in it, or the Lakers aren't in it, right? I'll cheer for the Heat. The Lakers are going to be in the playoffs this year, it looks like, or at least in the play-in, and so is the Heat. So I'll be rooting for both teams. But if they end up being in the finals, which I don't expect, I don't expect the Lakers to anyway. But if let's say both teams did, I'd be rooting for the Lakers because I'm a LeBron guy. But I support the Heat, so don't think I'm a bandwagon or nothing. I'm not. I just support the Heat when my Jazz aren't playing or aren't in the playoffs, or when the Lakers suck, right? And I'm not expecting the Lakers to go far at all, because the Nuggets are insanely good, and the Clippers are really solid this year, and so is the Timberwolves. I don't expect the Lakers to make it past the second round. I just don't. But we'll see what happens with the NBA. We'll talk more NBA when we get close to the playoffs. But I want to keep talking football and stuff with you guys going forward with this podcast, being that this is mainly a football channel. But I want to talk a little bit of other sports, because we're going to be a podcast. So once we go live for 3 to 4 hours, we're not going to just talk football for 3 to 4 hours, right? We're going to talk other sports as well. NBA, baseball, whatever you guys want to talk about, we're going to talk about it, right? We can even talk about music, right? We can even talk music on this podcast. But you've seen me do that before with my homies when they came over. We talked music, we've talked all types of different things. So we do try to expand this podcast as much as we can, but it's mainly supposed to be a football podcast. But once in a while, I like to throw other things in here, because I'm sure you guys get tired of just football all the time. Definitely once the off season, there's no games going on, So I'll try to expand that a little bit as much as I can. We'll definitely be talking wrestling a lot on this podcast throughout the summer and all that too. So expect a lot of WWE content on here. I'm trying to expand myself into watching some UFC as well. So I'll try to get into that over the summertime, and maybe we can talk some UFC also. But yeah, that's a plan. I expect this podcast to go 30 minutes, but it's at about 13 minutes right now. Almost at 14 minutes. I'm not gonna talk too much, because, like I said, we're gonna have a longer podcast tomorrow talking about wrestling. At least I expect it to be longer. And then, like I said, I gotta start getting planned for that big football video before the draft, where I go over every team, what they did in free agency, and what I expect them to do in the draft. So, yeah, we'll go over all that. That's probably gonna be the longest podcast we've ever done. Will be that video. So when we get to that point, we'll post it. You'll see it. I hope you guys will like it. I hope you guys, and let me know down in the comment section down below if you do watch this video. Let me know what you guys thoughts are of wrestling, football, whatever sport you guys watch. Let me know if you guys like the shorter podcast or the longer podcasts, what you guys would want more. And if we do be able to live stream in the future, would you guys rather me make videos like this, or do an actual live stream and just live stream podcasts I think it would be like 2 or 3 times a week, and it'll be like 3 to 4 hours at least. Let me know down below how you guys feel about that in the comment section down below. I like to read the comments, so please comment if you can. hit the like button if you like videos like this and you like this podcast. Like I said, I'm going to try to make it more professional. I still got to get the green screen up behind me so you don't have to see this ugly background. And then, yeah, we'll go from there, all right? I love you guys. Thank you guys for everything. Thanks for all the support. And I'll see you guys soon, all right? Fins up as always. Peace and love, y'all. We out of here. Deuces.